Alright. Here for the final part of Act 19. And I do, by the way, actually have Act 20 planned already, and if I assume I remember, which I probably will, I don't usually forget to do this. Preview that at the end of this championship when we finally have a winner. Also, take note of how close it is from 6th to 9th. There's a tie for 8th between Governor and 16 Angels. Figures they're doing about even. Same with Auto and Metacog, who are also dead even. I elected to get rid of this fingernail that had been bothering me for the last 20 minutes, and that was not a great idea. I often chew my nails when I'm bored or stressed, so usually I'm just always chewing my nails, because I'm almost always one of those two things at like any given point in time. And I've been too far. I regret everything. It isn't bleeding, it just really, really hurts. That finger, which is kind of a problem because it's my right-hand pointer finger, which is kind of an important finger for somebody who plays racing games. Because the R2 button is there. As you can see, my car is driving away. I don't know why I was able to drive away, but I was. Well, the Porsches definitely got screwed, as did the Mercedes, minus that fun pole. And the Mazdas are just going to be allowed to take over more, I guess. Timing. Well, Sparky just got an abysmal jump off the grid. Ryan Storming has already passed, and Grease Lightning tries to follow suit. Ryan Storming got, like, a boost start. He must have put his RPMs in the green zone or something. My god. Another great start. We have problems back there. Who's out? Looks like it'd be Auto. Yeah, that's not the road. Let's see what's happened. We're starting off gloriously, it would appear. What has he done? Or what has been done to him, rather. How wonderfully pathetic. What was that? What was that? Oh my god, that was one of the stupidest things I've seen the AI do in this game. Ryan Storm in one lap, not even like half a lap, is trying to go from... Where's the track going? Oh yeah, never mind, now we do. Trying to go from 5th to 1st in 60 seconds time, but that apparently keeps getting really good runs out of these turns, and therefore he will not be successful. We never use this track, so I figured we used the classic version early on in the championship. We might as well use the actual version one more time, because I don't really have plans to use it ever again. It won't be in Act 20. Because, well, unless this race proves differently, it hasn't really been very exciting to watch races here. But so far, it is actually kind of proving that thought wrong. So far, that is. Not to say that's going to be a permanent thing. Oh, now it is slightly bleeding. Not gushing like it has sometimes when I do that sort of thing, but, you know. There's, Grease Lightning just barely yoinks ahead of Alex there and pulls down on him. Ryan is still on That's Gearbox. As the run, he's gonna go for the same thing they just failed to do. which is passing to this corner. Which this time he covers him off. Didn't even press that twice. Ryan completely misses that corner, so that is now back on him. At least for the moment he is. Battle Rockets gained 8th place. And wasn't even on, what was it? Oh, Gearhead. He got a terrible start, too. Now his car is damaged. And once again, Battle Rocket seems intent on splitting the field into two groups of 7. The ones that are ahead of him and the ones that aren't. As Ryan Storm is gonna take the money and run. And leave that with the Mazdas behind him. Sparky's lap times are looking pretty quick compared to Metacog and that. She could even put that to use, we'll see, but I don't really know. It's hard to really know. You can still just about see Alex and Danny over there, but it's a very blurry image for Battle Rocket. It's more just an hallucination for him at this point. The corner looks kind of weird. I also do not know what cars are in those billboards over there. With Alex again. This group looking unlikely to separate anytime soon. This is definitely a handling track in the second half of the course, which is the important half, because if you get an advantage out of the last turn here, you will win. There's a Lamborghini Huracan there. Makes sense. I do believe this is still Italy. There's the only minute 31. I think this is definitely a Porsche track all around. I think if we were to do a qualifying session, all the Porsches would probably qualify in the top 5. Grease Lightning just forgot how to brake for a second there, it looked like. Yeah, this is more of what I remember. Everyone just following each other in small groups. We have these 3. Then we have these 3. Then we have the rest of the field. Gearhead with a double pass right on camera. So good timing for you there to actually get me to catch that happening. So yeah, it's Ryan Storm, then these 3, then these 3, and then everyone back to So Fast, basically, is all in one big group. So everyone from 8th on back, just in one big train. Gearhead's kind of breaking away from the train, Battle Rocket also kind of splitting the train, I guess, almost derailing it in a way of speaking. Probably because Burn is now the one making the train, so now it's just these 2 are a train. And Burn is no longer allowed in the train, I guess. I see the irony in saying that this is the Porsche track when 3 of the 5 are in out of points positions. Or not in points positions, but that's only really because that's probably only because they're behind Battle Rocket. Otherwise, I don't think that would be the case at all. I can't tell if Alex just hasn't passed the Grease Lightning because his AI is dull or because Grease Lightning is a really fast AI. And the Sauber is just not meant for this track. As well as the Porsche would be. And so that's why they're even still. Neither Mazda can even find an opening on that though, so maybe the Sauber isn't that bad here. It could just also be that Ryan has the really good AI, and that's why he's able to do stuff like this. Even though the race has progressed so far, I think Battle Rocket might be good to hold that 8th, unless Gearhead does something crazy right here, which he does not. Well, Gearhead thought about it. He definitely wanted. There wasn't room. So as he makes his way through the final corner, which is kind of almost like a NASCAR type corner there, the bank just goes to the right, not the left. And Ryan Storm takes the win, and I don't know. I don't think he'll take the points lead. Danny isn't in the best position here, but I mean, he might. It'll definitely be still close after this. And also, Battle Rocket will hold on to that 8th for a whole 3 points. Zippity-doo-dah. Move on to the penultimate event at Mugello. Danny does have the points lead by 2. And anybody in the top 6 can still technically win. Well, technically take the points lead if they win the race. However, Sparky and Battle Rocket, for example, can't. Alright, we're here at Mugello, which is, well, of the trucks on this game, my favorite. Overall. With Spain being second. Watkins Glen isn't here, Suzuka isn't here, Fuji's in here, so this would basically be it. On the spot depends on the car, but I like it in F1 cars and GTs, but in road cars, this seems more fitting to watch. Oh, this is scary. Okay, never mind. They literally just blocked for them off, like, no, only cool kids allowed. Because Sparky is definitely cool, right? Not really. Oh, they're 3 wide again. Oh, they're still 3 wide. Oh, dear God, what is happening? What are you idiots doing? I'm trying to cause a crash. Now, let's see if Otto collapses the same way he did in the previous round. The last time he was up on the pole with us at Silverstone, where he then ended up in 8th. Governor is still trying to kill people. As it would seemingly appear. Thing is, for every long corner in this track, there's usually a decent straightaway to follow it, outside of the first sector. But then we have the long straightaway to make up for the fact that the corners don't have long straightaways to follow up from there. Medicog has done quite well to get up to 10th and possibly 9th from starting 14th. He will not get to 10th, not right. He will not get to 9th right now. No, he might get to 9th. I don't know if he'll get to 9th. We'll see how Battle Rocket gets away here, though, with his, well, very fitting name of Rocket. Ooh, you almost had it, Metacog. You gotta be quicker than that, and he's gone. But he will get 9th. He will move up 5 places in a single lap. And that is made the victim. Alex has taken the lead from Otto. Doesn't really surprise me, if I'm perfectly honest. And we do have 3 different models on the top 3. Mercedes, Porsche, Mazda. Mercedes, Porsche, Mazda. Porsche, Porsche, Mazda, Porsche. Mercedes, Mercedes, Mazda, Mercedes, Porsche, Sauer. Almost had a pattern going, and then, Governor broke it. Bedlam did not have, well, no, Bedlam, no. I'd tell a lie. Governor had a good lap. Danny didn't. Or a good first lap, or good, like, start of this lap so far. It seems like Sparky has spent more time fighting Otto than either driver that actually normally fought him. Gearhead or Danny have fought him. And Gearhead, at least, you know, specifically Gearhead, isn't really in a position where he can, even if he wants to. He's currently dealing with this. Danny is closer. Otto's just over there in the corner of your screen behind the leaderboard. Why did I point? There's no face cam. Dramatic point. Well, Alex is not going to take the money and run, and where are you going, Governor? The road's over there. Bedlam, you're breaking the pattern. Well, most importantly for Danny, Brian Storm is not scoring right now, and I don't think he's gonna at this rate, as he's currently getting passed by Gearhead. Or re-overtaken by Gearhead. And now he's trying to pass Gearhead. Still too wide. This is sketchy. Ryan barely gives Gearhead any room. And Gearhead will still make that pass. Or defend the position. Not really making the pass if he was ahead of him to begin with. Sparky is still right here. The lack of speed the Mazda has over compared to the Mercedes is really hurting it down the long front straightaway, which is where you want to be when trying to pass somebody. so she can stay closer this time. It doesn't appear to be the case. Governor is rapidly on the move, and it looks like he'll make the pass on Otto before Sparky can. And at this rate, well, Sparky tries to prove me wrong, but I guarantee you won't do it there. Not that way. That isn't how you do it. Ryan Storm has rapidly made progress. Now he is in a points position. The Porsches are beginning the uprising, apparently. Didn't know Porsches could have an uprising. I didn't know they were revolution, but okay. We'll go with it. But can he get much further? Because that would mean he'd have to negotiate Battle Rocket. And when it comes to defending the position, Battle Rocket has all of the tools needed to do that around most courses, and especially this one, with long straightaways like this. And this. Final lap. Governor cannot get around Sparky, it will appear. He will try. He'll think about it. He won't. Sparky, this isn't the passing zone. Stop even trying. It's not gonna work. Stop your thought process. Stop it. just stop. Geez, are you gonna give him a kiss on the cheek? My gosh. Well, after making, I think, maybe one pass. Okay, he passed technically 2 cars. I think he might just jump Sparky off the line. Alex will go ahead and win here in Mugello. Alex is basically half Italian at this point with how many times he's won in the country. Otto, against the odds, probably because Sparky was his competition for most of the race, will keep hold of that 2nd place. And right at the end of the race, just before the line, Sparky is ahead, but Governor would immediately rectify that. Battle Rocket will once again hold on for 8th, just barely, against multiple Mazdas, who drag raced to the finish. Interesting. Which is interesting because Metacog was in 12th at the start of that lap, and he was up in 9th at the end of it. Metacog was just all over the place in that race. He started 14th, he was up to 9th by the end of lap 1, fell back to 12th somewhere along the way, and now he finishes 9th again anyway. So anyway, we're here now at the finale of Act 19, with a singular point being the difference between Danny and Alex. Danny has my racing number in points, so my money is on him. Plus, you definitely need handling to even survive this track, let alone succeed. Excuse me. Mathematically, though, Gearhead, Bedlam, or Ryan Storm could also win if Danny and Alex have a bad day. There's no sound coming through the game, so all I hear is some sort of game show host or something just screaming at the top of his lungs upstairs. Oh, it's Steve Harvey. It's Family Feud. I heard the little fanfare. Or whatever you'd call that. I guess it's just the theme? I don't know. So anyway, we're here for a long loading screen, so how's your night been? Because this track takes a while to load. Probably because it's a 15-mile long course. That might be it, but I don't know. Okay, I wasn't even looking at anything there. I was just staring off into space. I'm just thinking about random stuff that doesn't even apply. Alright, so let's see. What does the starting grid have in store? Who will determine who end up winning the championship? Not Ryan Storm. Okay, it's definitely between Danny and Alex, who are near each other. Danny has Sparky for assistants. Alex has Governor. Kind of. Reese Layton is on pole, but he's not in the place to win the championship. It's only between those two and Bedlam if he gets lucky. Or Ryan Storm if he just suddenly gets, really good at driving. But we all know that's not gonna happen. So let's get into this final round of Act 19. Timing. Neither Mazda launches very well. Sparky almost falls down the order, but doesn't. Alex just kind of waits, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know if he can afford to do that under his circumstances. Nor can Danny afford to have his girlfriend trying to pass him either. The Mercedes 1.2, or Porsche 3.4, Mazda 5.6, Porsche 7.8. Gearhead doesn't like that. Doesn't matter what Gearhead thinks, and apparently doesn't matter what 60 Angels tries to do either, is they run into each other, and Gearhead is like pinballs away. That's weird, that's not the usual version of that. Weird. Or I guess this is the cup version. The normal version goes down, or skips the extended right hand into the left hand turn. It cuts right to the other part after that long sweeping left into the right. Instead goes down the longer way after that corner where we just took the sudden right, which I haven't even seen before. There's a version of the track that does that called the sprint version, but we've never used that before. Now we cross into the Nordschleife, where dreams may or may not be shattered. Bedlam is doing all he can, but he can only do so much. He can't necessarily control where Danny or Alex finish, but he can control where he finishes. He would need to score 12 more points than Danny, though. And Danny being in 4th, that isn't gonna happen. Because right now he's only getting 4 more than Danny, and that's not enough. Right now, Danny is the championship winner if Alex cannot gain more places. Sparky with a big wheel. Oh gosh, what has happened? Grease Lightning just about folded there. I think he basically has. His car is trashed from that. Let's see if anyone else has been massively affected. Ooh, that's not good looking. Who's that? So fast with a destroyed engine. Oh, now you really gotta look at the replay. Who all got affected there? I know Sparky didn't. I'm just gonna go to her first and get to the corner. So this corner is actually kind of, as you can see here. Yeah, not really easy. Sparky does her best NHRA impression. What we want to see is Lightning, who, oh, that's not good. No, that's never gonna work. Where are you doing that, Bedlam? Jackass. Oh. He slides over there. Bedlam, I guess out of, like, regret, doesn't go past him during this time frame and just kind of sits there confused. He also barely avoids the wall himself, as we'll see here. He pulls up alongside him, forces him into a wide line. He does hit the wall, actually. Forgive me, I'm totally wrong there. That's not the only thing that happens, so Otto will now try and take advantage of that. I think he actually just straight up does. No, he actually will be in the wall later. So good thing replay again, because now they're too wide and Otto does that. But he's not out. I don't think. We don't know yet. The replay ends there. The Saubers had a lot of problems here. Let's start with So Fast here. Gets a bit of a jump. Can't turn. Engine's gone. A massive amount of smoke you can see there for a minute. Burn follows that into the grass. No, he doesn't. That follows So Fast into the grass, and that is now backwards. Grease Lightning, as we already saw, and Autobahn Diesel is the only Sauber to survive with no damage. However, he doesn't have that for very long, as he then smacks the barrier next to Bedlam. So Grease Lightning is alive still, but suspension damage and aero damage will really take its toll on him pretty soon here. Someone else is off. Spectacularly Battle Rockets held on here. That is indeed eliminated, as is So Fast. Obviously, those two weren't going to go anywhere with broken engines. Otto remains in the... Nope. No, he doesn't. Otto... I'm assuming that's from the same crash we saw at the end of the first replay. Yeah, let's see what actually happens now. Thunk! And he probably comes back across the track? No, he just spins across the track. That was when we saw off before. Everything else will look fine from there, though. Burn has damage, right? There's no way. Is he really not? Metacog is also back here, but he's undamaged as well. He just got split up, I guess, somehow. And Burn... I thought Burn got damaged. I guess he didn't. And we still have this lead group of the top 8 here. Grease Lightning, despite all of his damage, is still in the lead after many corners. Danny by manner of not crashing, survives to 3rd place. Governor and Alex directly in tow, also undamaged, I believe. Otto is angered! Ryan Storm is the last of the surviving cars, but also has no damage. Battle Rocket has damage, but it's not major in the way that some people have. I can imagine driving like this here is not great. Bedlam just thunks the wall back there. I saw that in the mirror. The Governor pulls out to pass Danny. You really make that work. That was a big difference in speed. What in the world? Still does all these lead 8 cars here. Since we now have 3 DNF cars. Not how you brake, Sparky. You wanna try that again? Burn is definitely in no man's land right now. A little sketchy there from Angels, but he manages to hold on to the car. I'm not sure if Grease Lightning did it either. I imagine that suspension damage in that turn wasn't fun. His rear wing is sideways. Yeah, Grease Lightning's racing lines are whacked. I can't imagine he will be anywhere near the lead once we get to the long straightaway at the end of this track. We have a YouTube corner. There's a camera in one of those stands on the side of the track that uploads that always is recording whenever there's an event going on. Battle Rocket is in a points position. We'll get to see what he can really do down straightaway too, because we have the almighty straightaway here. Right, Otto's out. I want Bedlam. I wish you would automatically reorder them. That'd be like the one thing I wish you would change. Because I gotta go off a grid order that's outdated from 7 minutes ago. Okay, Grease Lightning, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt even more. So long it takes Bedlam to reap that position. So we sort of drive off into the sunset, almost fittingly. One more lap and it would be fitting, and there we go. He isn't quite as slow as I thought he'd be. He's still getting 190, which is crazy, but let's see what this can do. And give me the ultimate straightaway. 210 and counting. Get a hill and doesn't care. Probably could have hit 220 easily. But all the time he gained is lost instantly. There's a rainstorm past Metacog. How the heck? Alex just swooped around the outside of Grease Lightning here. That's a weird one. And let's see if the uphill or the the jump corner can claim more victims. I'm gonna say this will probably finish off Grease Lightning. He's done incredibly well to even survive this long with all this damage, let alone he's still in a good position to finish if he does survive. 5th place points despite all this damage in itself is a massive accomplishment. And even if he falls back to like 7th or 8th. So apparently he succeeded those past Gearhead up the line, and then Gearhead immediately took it back. Another straightaway, Grease Lightning falls down more positions. Loses it to Sparky. It is now a Porsche 1-2. 1-2-4. Not Danny's there, so never mind 1-2-3. It's still very much a championship fight. Because these two cars will survive the hill, assuming they're not too wide through it. And Alex will need to pass Danny, and that will claim the championship. Bedlam is doing, like I said before, he's doing everything that he can personally do to win the championship. He's doing his job. But he relies on Danny and Alex not scoring big. And at this point, the only way that happens is if they don't score at all. By which I mean, they don't finish at all. So let's see how Bedlam survives without a car next to him. However, with some damage, he'll be going slower. He gets airtime. Danny and Alex proceed as expected. How does Grease Lightning do this, though? Oh god, Gearhead's making it worse, too. The wall. The drift. The wall again. There's Burn. I forgot he was even in the race. And still carries on. Despite now being 9th. Alex is right on his championship rival. He needs to make the pass, otherwise Danny will just take the championship. Two big winners in Universe Zero. How fitting they're the main opponents for the end of this act. Danny won the first one, but Alex has won several since. Because affinity established for Ferraris, which carries over into Time Loop with his 488 GT3. Interesting that Governor is actually going faster. Bedlam is going faster than the Governor, despite having a damaged car. How is Lightning ticking? Well, he's still ticking. Danny looks to put a buffer in between him and Alex, tries to put Governor there. However, that area isn't good for passing. You have to get him on straight line speed, something the Mazda doesn't have. At least doesn't have more of it than the Porsche. However, I've noticed Governor is a little loose in corners, so maybe he can use that to his advantage. Alex will just kind of watch on and hope that his teammate can cover for him. We've seen in the past, Governor is pretty good at defense. Some bad news for Grease Lightning. Metacog has cleared Battle Rocket. I think he needed that buffer between him and opponents if he was going to score again. Or regardless. Danny looks wide. But there isn't even a gap there. I don't know what you thought could possibly happen. Governor, oh, Alex is pushing to his very limits here. As is 16 Angels. How does one with massive suspension damage take a corner like this? Well, I guess we'll see now. Very, very cautiously. I mean, as is probably the best thing to do at that point. The Governor has closed to Bedlam. He must not have had a very good run through the carousel, which is what the name for those turns are. It's spelled K-A-R-O-U-S-S-E-L, because we're in Germany. Very tight. Context, very close between the top four still. And then, separate from that group, Gearhead and Sparky. Gearhead has gained 2 places in this lap, which is... Granted, one of them was only Grease Lightning and his set of problems, but he did pass 16 Angels, and that isn't quite as easy. 16 Angels only has a little bit of damage on the side of their car. He's just taking it nice and easy, I guess. He knows the dangers of this place. Doesn't want to get caught up in the storm. Metacog is now right there. I couldn't really imagine this is a fun sight to see in the rearview mirror of Grease Lightning's car. So now we see who is the top Speedmaster. Alex, I believe, has more speed than Danny. So this is going to prove pretty much everything. Bedlam has enough of a gap. I think he's won the race. And he just drive off into the sunset. But Alex, with his damage, is not even close enough. Danny is actually going faster. No, he isn't. That is a blatant lie. Oh, this is gonna be toasty. He's reluctant. Now he's there. Danny is, well, helpless. Even with Alex's body panel damage, that Porsche is just too much for the Moss to deal with. Bedlam will win, unless he screws up these corners, which he doesn't. Danny is not even close enough to try on Alex. And just like that, because of the long straightaway, Alex will win the race, not the race, the championship, with a 3rd place finish. Gearhead almost got to Sparky, but not enough time. But let's not sleep on this. Not only is he staying with him, on top of all this, but Grease Lightning went the entire race with car damage. Oh god, Battle Rocket's there. Forgot about him. He went the entire race with damage and oh. What is his car made out of? Grease Lightning, even with basically what looked like a fatal error, comes home in the points. Barely over Battle Rocket. That is I think Grease Lightning won a personal race there. He didn't even come close to winning the race. But there was a personal race that he had there, and he won by miles. A very polarizing results screen there. 3 Porsches, 3 Mazdas, and a lot of Saubers not able to even cross the line. And big ups to Byrne as well. He managed to, despite having the really unstable vehicle here, finish without even taking damage to his car. So by a mere singular point, Alex wins Act 19. Honestly, I think that was fate. So fast, either wasn't exerting himself, or he just couldn't catch a break. He barely had over half of what 14th place in points had. If he were to try and catch up to Alex, it would take at least 5 races to pass him in points. And even at that, he might not even be in the lead by that point, because if Byrne keeps getting second by a near stretch, he might still be ahead of him. But that is Act 19, and it started off kind of boring, probably Spa and Silver 6167 not helping that, but man, towards the end, this was probably one of the rowdiest ones we've had. And the War of Attrition at the Nürburgring definitely helped that title. Alright, so with all of that over and done with, here is Act 20's plans. You have a couple of new faces actually showing up for one good run. We have Alex in his good old 458, me back in the RX-7. This has basically become like the... it's not the poster car, but it's the one that's not used in the race. And it's also one of my personal favorite cars. Up there with the Dodge Viper and the Acura NSX. The Acura NSX will actually be playing a role in Time Loop. Danny, XT3, myself, and someone else. Oh, I think that might be it. Yeah, me, Dan, and XT3 will be driving Acura NSX cars in Time Loop. Not to mention, we may find other Acuras in the races. And if I had thoughts on a 40th character, there would be another Acura, because there's actually a Hot Wheels theme design for that as well, which I kind of forgot to put to use. But I just really like the way the 89 looked. XC3 is known for driving red and white cars like Super Tsunami. And Danny drives cars with green. And Suzuka is based on a Japanese car. It's a mixture of a Toyota Supra and a Mitsubishi Eclipse, to be exact. And the Acura is the closest thing to Japanese besides Nissan. But the Nissan doesn't come in green. But anyway, so you have Alex in the 458, Byrne back in his Gallardo, Number 1 from codenamed Kids Next Door makes a brief appearance to assist in one last round. And they'll need it because Carbon is back with the Mercedes SLS. Danny is in his trademark Supra that he's used in a lot of acts. XE3 will take over the Audi R8. Vert is in the GTR. Captain Falcon has appeared again in the Porsche Cayman. Sonic once again returns at the last second, now in a twin wheels Ford GT40. And he brings along a buddy. He brought along Shadow with the Alpha 155. That is in the Lotus 211. The Powerpuff Girls are sharing McLaren 570s, and then I am there in the Mercedes 190e Evolution. And then the track list, we're using the same version of Nordschleife in the middle of the championship, not the end. And the finale, we're saying one nice last goodbye to these 3 tracks, because they will not be coming with us. Zandvoort isn't in Project Cars, and these 2 tracks are exclusive to Assetto Corsa. But don't worry, because everything else is still staying around. Even the classic tracks, they're still part of Project Cars 2 as well, and they will play a role at some point or another. But of course, also Magion is also going away. And that is also kind of... Well, we're not going to have it. I'm not going to miss it as much as I might miss the street tracks. We have equivalents to these 2 in Project Cars, but they're not really... They're not the same, because we have the California Highway. And I can also split the Nordschleife into stages if I wanted to. And those are point-to-point races. But these 2 tracks are different because they are circuits. So we end the championship with them, and we end the series, as it were, with them. We'll not be starting to record. We'll not be recording this today. However, ideally tomorrow, most likely on Monday though, if I can even do it then, there will be. And then we have Act 21, the retrospective, with some cool shoutouts, a couple of fantasy characters that couldn't appear for one reason or another. Carbon is back in his original car, and while it is something of an even race, that's not necessarily the point. And it is one, like I said, just because Act 20 didn't do it enough, it is kind of the farewell trip to Black Cat County, the Highlands, Vallelunga, and Zandvoort, which I forgot I even put Vallelunga in there. Not Magion, because that's already getting a part in Act 20, but I might even replace Zandvoort with Magion, because Zandvoort's the worst of all the 3 tracks that are going away, to me. Because there's only one part where AI can even try and do anything. And they usually don't anyway, and even when it does, it's not very interesting, because the AI will just throw it into turn 1, and it's done with. They usually get away with it. There's no interesting fight back from the car on the outside, because you can't even do it that way. So that is Act 19. And next time, of course, will be on Act 20. And there are more cars in this, too. You can see the little scrolling bar there. On the far right, underneath Continue, there are more cars than just these 7. And, of course, I'll explain each individual character as the thing progresses when we get there. But next time, the beginning of the end, with Barcelona, Laguna Seca, and Circuit of Spa.